are listening to the Subtle Forces podcast. I am your host, Anja Anja Seeger, improvising today alongside musicians Anton Seeger and DDA LaPlay. You've gotten down to the bottom of the peanut butter jar. There are still globs of peanut butter in the crevices of this jar. There's the striations left from serrated knives in the peanut butter jar. And now you, anteater that you are, you see how far your tongue can stretch into the jar, reaching for as much peanut butter that is left. You've already used all of your fingers to scrape, but you know there's still peanut butter in the jar. You go under the sink, and there's some steel wool. You use that to scrape the peanut butter out of the jar. Next, you take a pair of scissors and you cut the jar open. You take a spatula and you squeegee, centimeter by centimeter, every last bit of peanut butter. There. Now it is gone. For some reason, I've been thinking about my grandma, who, when she was alive, sometimes she would tell me that in the town that her mom grew up in, there was a hall where people would get together and have dances. And there was this one time in that town when there was like a big ball, and all the young people would go to the ball to dance and meet up. And there was this young woman who was bold. Most people would go to the dance with a friend or a relative. They'd go in groups. They'd look out for each other. But one young woman went to the ball by herself. And when she was there, she was susceptible. There was a new person in town at this ball. No one had ever seen him before. But he was tall and wore expensive looking clothes. He had pointy features. He was very attractive, but there was something in his eyes, something electric, so electric you could have sworn there were flashes of red when he looked at you with any sort of emotion. You would get a flicker, just the briefest storm of red lightning, and all the women wanted to dance with this new man, tall in his leather jacket. But it was weird. He would not take off his coat. It was a very fine coat. But everyone else, you take off your coat, you make yourself comfortable, you stay a while. And he danced with a few people, but eventually he got to her. And they danced, and they danced. And very quickly, when no one was looking, she rode off in his carriage. She was never seen again, but it is said that when he was dancing, there was a smoke. There was like a burning smell. And later, when the lights came up and the sun came up and it was bright in the room again, there were the burnt impressions of hoof marks all over the floor. She had been abducted by the devil? We don't know. We don't know. There's a crack in the overcast sky. Just a sliver of shine. It created an arrow-like effect, highlighting a very narrow bit of the land, as if to point out this area. Light hovering over. What is that? Murky, muddy, fronds, something that might be just a bit of earth, or maybe if you dig through the tresses, the grasses, underneath those cattails thickly wrapped, underneath, the light is indicating you will find it. So put on your galoshes and cross the field. Bring a shovel. But the light is moving. Clouds move. They don't stay in the same place, nor does the sun. This special anointed area has shifted a couple of feet to the left. And now it is highlighting a bit of pond with thin ice and frozen toads in suspended life between seasons, frozen in this translucent ice. Is it the toads you are to collect? Good thing you have your bucket and your shovel. But the light, it's carrying forward further. It is highlighting now an empty potato chip bag, some rubber gloves, detritus blown to this suburban open field. The light is slicing the street and a car drives through it. Is it in the car? The special divine thing that the sky wants you to notice and to collect. Because clearly the sun, it wants something for you. Doesn't it feel like it the day you are born? Especially if you're born in daylight. Doesn't it feel like the sun has always meant for you to pay attention to what it is shining on? Because that thing that it shines on, it might as well be engraved with your name. Alright, well, that's my lecture. If any of you have any questions, feel free to ask them right now. Several students raised their hands with questions about whatever the heck I had just lectured to them about. And I answered each of their questions, and they were pretty good questions. But eventually, this young man, no older than 17, raised his hand. And I was a stranger in this classroom, just a guest giving a lecture about whatever. And he asked me, "So, are you saying that when you're having a hard, difficult time in life, you also enjoy it?" And he sort of smiled. It was like a sort of hopeful smile. He was hoping I would tell him, yes, when I am suffering immensely, I am having a great time. And so I told him that. I said, yes, when I am suffering immensely in life, as long as it isn't perhaps a bedbug infestation, I might enjoy it a bit because it makes a good story. And even when it is bedbugs, cancer, something you do not want at all. The one thing I can control, the one thing that makes me ooze further, push further, one gust further, is being able to recount, repackaging this stupid thing that is happening to you, to your ears, so that you can listen to me and you can laugh at me. And hearing you laugh at me makes me lighter. As long as you're not too mean. Don't be too mean. I have feelings. We've been doing the Viennese waltz in hell non-stop for 150 years. Our hooves hammering a figure eight into the red crust of hell's ballroom. Over and over. Satan has taken a wife. He keeps saying, "Of course your name is Persephone. I love Persephones." What he doesn't know, and I won't let on, is I'm not tired of dancing. Not yet. He thinks he is torturing me. And it makes his eyes flash red, happy God rays. He's so thrilled to be punishing me over and over and over and over. But he doesn't realize I am only content when I am miserable. Just as teenage boys suspect. But somehow, Satan, in his timeless life, he's never learned this. And that's why, and that's how, I know he's the one for me. Faster and faster. We only dance faster. We power the whole earth. We are in the core, creating lava. Oh, Satan. You kill me. tiring. And that is his cue to keep it up.